Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's Leah, and happy Friday to you all. Getting ready for another morning yoga. As always, make your way to your yoga space in your apartment. Ensure you've got a little bit of room to move around. Make sure you've got a nice firm base of support under your feet. And that can be the floor if you have a chair that allows your feet to comfortably reach the floor, or if you have a little bit of a taller chair that you like, a step stool or something of the like underneath your feet can really help you be able to make that firm connection with the ground. I'll always suggest that you be in your bare feet, as this gives you the most range of motion with your feet, and socks can be a little bit slippery. But of course, you're always welcome to choose what works for you. If you prefer to be in your sneakers or another footwear option, you're still welcome to participate. During this morning's class, we will have quite a few movements where I give options that are more and less challenging. And I want you to really feel a connection with yourself, to look inside and determine what's an option that challenges me today while still meeting me where I'm at. So don't feel like you need to do everything. You can always return back to a comfortable seat and take a few moments to just reset. But also, give yourself that opportunity to be challenged. Just because you think something might be out of reach, if your body feels good, it can be really nice to go for it, and maybe you can surprise yourself with what is possible today. With that, go ahead and find your way to your seat. Come forward so there's a little bit of space between you and the back of the chair. Bring your feet to rest about hip distance apart. Extend your spine, feel yourself sitting up a little taller. Comfortably rest your hands and allow your eyes to close. Start to notice your breath. Notice where you're at today. Maybe noticing a spot of tension in your body. Noticing something that feels better or maybe not as good as it did yesterday. And just acknowledge without judgment. It's not good or bad. It just is. Giving yourself a little bit of love this morning. And maybe you start to send your breath a little deeper, encouraging your inhale to fill your low belly first. And on your exhale, emptying completely from the top down, low belly draws in and up. Your breath can be at any pace that's comfortable for you, but you want to try to make your breath conscious, focusing on it, and taking it a little deeper than the regular breath you carry through day to day. Press your feet down lightly into the ground, lift your chest, drop shoulders down and back, and open your eyes. Bring arms down by your sides, reach actively through your fingertips, and press your feet down to sit up even taller. You might feel yourself kind of sliding back in your seat. Then on an inhale, arms sweep up overhead, reach really tall, extend through your fingertips, lift your chest, but continue to drop your shoulders down and back so there's plenty of space for your neck to feel long and loose. Make arms a little more straight. One more breath in. Exhale, release arms down. Inhale, sweep up again. Exhale, down. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. One more time, inhale up. This time on your exhale, make cactus arms. Squeeze shoulders in on your spine. Move palms back in line over elbows and lift your chest. The more you squeeze your shoulders in behind you, the more active and difficult this will be. Take one more breath in. Exhale, arms down by sides. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Squeezing shoulders in, press hands back over elbows. Press your feet down into the ground and lift your chest. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Hands to your knees, cat and cow. Inhale, lift your chest, let shoulders drop down and back. And exhale, round your spine, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, round back. You might find you need to scooch a little farther forward in your seat to allow yourself enough space for your full range of motion. But continue to move at your own pace, maybe adding in some other movements that you like. It could be like a little side to side. You could stay in cat or cow for a few breaths. Just saying good morning to your spine. Finish out your next round of cat and cow. And then come up through a tall, neutral spine. Press your feet down. Take an inhale. On your exhale, keep your spine long. Hinge from the hip crease. Moving into a bit of a forward fold. Attempt to keep your shoulders right over your knees. Extend out through the crown of your head. Think feet down, hips back. On an inhale, bring yourself upright. Exhale, arms by sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to shoulder height. Turn your palms to face down. Extend out through your fingertips. Keep lifting your chest. Flip your palms up. And then turn your hands back down. Flip your palms up. And turn palms down. One more time, palms up. And palms down. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to knees. Take an inhale to lift your chest. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Maybe walking your hands a little bit down your legs towards your ankles or feet. Press your feet down. Think hips back. Extend out through the crown of your head. Walk your hands up your legs. Roll yourself back upright. Big breath in. Exhale, release out. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Flex and point your foot a few times. Maybe roll your ankle. And then squeeze your knee up to your chest. Press knee towards chest and chest to knee. And you might continue to move your ankle a little bit. It's going to change what's happening in your leg. You might kind of find a sweet spot that feels really good. Maybe start to add a little bit of motion to that leg that you're drawing in. You can use one hand or both hands. You might flex or point your foot and see how that changes what's going on. Any motion is good here. It doesn't have to look the same as mine. And then release your leg back down. Press your foot down to the ground. Notice that you likely leaned back. So sit up tall, shoulders over hips once more. And then press your feet down, left leg extends. Flex and point your foot, get a little movement going in your ankle. And then draw your knee up to your chest, squeeze in. Press chest to leg and leg to chest. Grow a little taller through your spine. And then start to add that movement with your foot. Maybe starting to add movement with your leg as well. Just sort of exploring a range of motion. Maybe finding a certain spot or position that feels good. And again, this can look any way you'd like. It does not have to look quite like mine. Finish out your movement and release your left foot back down. Notice, did you lean back? I certainly did. So press your feet down and sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Keep working for that tall, long spine, just noticing it each time. Right leg extends. Flex and point your foot. Roll your ankle. Draw knee into your chest. This time, you can use both hands or just your right hand. Open your leg out to the side. Flex your toes up towards your knee and hold here. Nice. Sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. Bring your toes up towards your knee. If you'd like, take your arm away for an extra challenge, floating out to the side. And then close that leg off. And release your foot down. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Press both feet down. Extend your left leg. Flex and point your foot. Roll your ankle. Draw your knee up to your chest. Squeeze in. You can stay here or open your leg out to the side. And see here I'm using both hands, or you can use one hand. Let your right arm come away. Flex those toes right up towards your knee. Nice. Lift your chest. Maybe extend your left arm if it's there for you. And then close that leg off and release down. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Maybe walking hands down. Maybe exploring a little bit more range of motion this time. Maybe able to lean forward a little more, to feel hips going back a little more, extending out through the crown of your head. Roll yourself back upright. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Take hands to hips or hands on your chair for support if you prefer. Flex your right foot, so lift to your heel first. And then with your knee bent, pick your right leg straight up. Nice. Open your leg out to the side and set your foot down. Beautiful job. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Flex your right foot, lift to your heel first, and then pick your heel up, close off, and set down. You're, of course, always welcome to use your hand for support on your leg. Pick up to your left heel, and then float your left foot a little bit off the ground. Open that leg out to the side, and set it down. Nice job. Make sure you're sitting up tall, shoulders over hips. Lift to your heel, float your heel up, and close off. One more time to each side. Lift to your right heel. Lift your leg, and you can use your hand for support to open to the side and set your foot down. This time, lift your chest, hinge slightly forward. Press your feet down and away from each other. Knees go wide, and it doesn't have to be a big lean forward. You want to think back with your hips, extend forward and out through the crown of your head. Come back upright. Lift to your heel. Pick your right leg up with or without your hand, and close off, set down. Last time here, lift to your left heel, float your heel off the ground, and then open that leg out to the side, set your foot down. Sit up tall, extend your spine, press your feet down and hinge from the hip crease, lean slightly forward. You can use your hands for support. Just make sure you don't press directly into your knees. You want to stay on your thighs here, or you can take no hands for support, whatever works for you. Move back upright. Use your hand or not, lift to your heel, and then lift your left leg, close off, and set your foot back down. Take a full breath in. Long exhale. One more time, big breath in. Long breath out. Take your right leg and extend just a little bit forward so heel is in line with your left toes. Flex your toes all the way back towards you. And then hinge forward from the hip crease. Reach your right fingertips towards your foot. Nice. If you can make a connection between your foot and hand, press your foot into your hand and draw back with your right arm at the same time. If you can't quite reach, but you'd like to make a connection, use a towel, a t-shirt, a belt, or anything of the like to go around your foot and hold on with your hand. That can achieve the exact same type of engagement and pressing together between your arm and leg. Come back upright, replant your right foot, and slide your left heel forward, heel in line with toes. Flex your left toes all the way up and back towards you. Lift your chest. Reach with your left hand, hinge from the hip crease, and lean forward. Something to notice, you don't want to reach with only your left arm. You want to keep shoulders squaring right to the front line. Maybe connect foot and hand, maybe using a prop to help you bridge the gap. Then release, hinge back upright. Replant your left foot. Take a full breath in. Long breath out. One more time, big breath in. Long breath out. A little bit of stretch for the front of the leg. You're going to scooch over to your right so that your left leg is more centered in the chair or even on the right edge of the chair. Make sure your right leg is free on the outside. You can take your left hand to the chair for support and then start to walk your right leg back. Keep your knee bent so it points directly down. I'm going to give you a side view of what this looks like so. Your knee might start wanting to lift out to the side, and your work is to draw the knee right underneath you into the midline. If you're tall, taller than me, this might not be as easy to do on the chair. You might find you need to walk your leg back a little bit more, or you can come up to the chair like so. Yeah, depending on how tall you are. I know that some of you are quite tall and I am not. So those are good options for standing if you feel like, Leah, I'm not really getting the stretch here. So walk your right leg back, draw your knee in, squeeze to the midline. Nice. For more stretch here, take your right arm up and do a little tilt over. Keep tucking your tail forward. Think squeeze from the back side of your body and press forward, drawing your knee in. Come up through center if you're leaning over. Carefully bring your right leg out and around to the front again. And then you're gonna scoot all the way over to the left. Right leg either centered or kind of on the edge of the chair, and I'll give you the side view again. Your left leg walks back, heel is lifted, knee points down. It might start kind of wanting to go out to the side like this, and your work is to squeeze into the midline, get your shoulders and your hips pointing directly forward. Squeeze from the back side of your body, tuck your tail forward, draw your waistline back, and lift your chest. And if you'd like a little more stretch here, left arm up and side bend, tilting over. Yeah, move your top shoulder back, keep lifting your chest, squeezing into the midline with your legs. Come up through center, carefully bring your left leg forward again, and then come back to the center. Heel toe your feet out wide, ending with heels in, toes out. Knees stack right over ankles, press your feet down and away from each other. Lift your chest. Take a big exhale. Hands rest just above your knees on your thighs and start to just gently twist one shoulder in at a time. Yeah, maybe getting a little bit more range of motion going here, moving into more of a twist. Nice job. Finish out one more time to the right and to the left. And then come up through center. Take an inhale. On your exhale, hinge from the hip crease. Lean forward. This time, if you'd like, maybe walking your hands down your legs. You might even be able to reach down to the ground with your fingertips or hands. Keep sending knees wide. Keep pressing feet down. Maybe feel your seat getting lighter. Roll back upright. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Heel toe your feet back in together. Hip distance apart. Just underneath your knees. Full inhale. And exhale. We are going to take a few standing poses now. There are certainly options to practice these poses seated instead of standing. And so I'm going to briefly go over what those options are so that you can participate at the level that makes the most sense for you this morning. Starting off with Warrior One. If you know these standing postures and you'd like to practice them standing, feel free to do them standing this first round through, but I'll be demonstrating the seated version. Warrior One, we're going to start with our right leg forward. So what you want to do is scooch over to the left so your right leg is centered in the chair. You do also have the option to turn to the side instead. This option just requires that you switch side to side each time, and that can be kind of laborious. So I like just scooching over in the chair rather than having to turn to the side, but just know that option exists as well. Take your foot down to the ground, right underneath your front knee. Your left leg, you can do exactly what we did with knee bent drawing into the midline, or you can walk your foot back a little farther so your leg moves more towards straight. From a side view, that looks like this. The chair still supports you underneath your front thigh. Your back foot, heel can be down if that feels okay for your knee, or your heel can be lifted, allowing some bend in the knee. Feel free to use your hands on the chair for support or reach your arms up. Draw waistline back to spine, and you'll notice that that action creates a lot of stretch in the front of your back leg. And that's predominantly what we're going for here. Stretch in the front of your back leg, right in here. Lift up a little more through your chest, grow a little taller, and actively press down through both feet. Nice, strong legs. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release out. To switch sides, if you're like so, all you do is carefully bring your left leg forward, scooch over to the right, left leg forward, right leg back. If you want to take that sideways version, which I'm using for demonstration purposes here, you'll have to turn all the way around to face the left. Back heel can be lifted, allowing a little bend in the knee. Your leg can be more straight if that works for you. Pivot your right hip forward, tuck your tail, and lift up. Send arms up overhead, stack wrists right over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Draw your waistline back and grow a little taller. Nice job. The more you tuck your tail, the more you'll feel the stretch. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Take your right leg forward, and we'll switch sides once more. I'm going to demonstrate standing up. So if you'd like to practice standing, come around to behind your chair. That way you can use the chair as a nice base of support for your hands. You might find that the chair back is not the best height for you. Sometimes like your countertop, your kitchen table, or even your walker can be really good options as well. Start with your feet a comfortable distance away from the chair. Then step your right foot forward, bend your right knee as you step your left foot way back. Come into the longest lunge stance that's comfortable for you to maintain. You do not want your feet to just slide away from each other, but you do want to challenge yourself with a long stance here. This is definitely a powerful and challenging pose. Either anchor through your back heel or lift your heel if that feels better on your knee. Tuck your tailbone forward, draw your waistline to spine, and reach up with one or both hands. Press your feet down and away from each other. Squeeze inner thighs to the midline. Draw waistline back to spine. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release out. Step left foot forward, right foot back, and switch sides. Left foot forward, bend your knee, step your right foot back. Again, finding a stance that's as long as is comfortable for you. So challenging but doable. Anchor through your back heel. Tuck your tail forward, draw belly button back to spine. Nice. Grow a little taller. Maybe reach up with one or both hands. Take a full breath in. Stay here as you breathe out. One more inhale. And exhale, hands back to the chair. Right foot forward, left foot back. One more round of warrior one, either seated or standing. Right foot forward, bend your knee. Left foot steps back. Square hips to the chair, so move left hip forward, draw right hip back, and then really tuck your tail. Arms reach up. If you'd like this time, maybe touch palms together overhead. Maybe turn your gaze up. Nice. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Left foot forward, right foot back. Switch sides last time. Left foot forward, bend your knee, right foot steps way back into your lunge. Tuck your tail, square your hips to the chair, and draw waistline to spine. Maybe reach up with one or both arms. Then if you'd like, palms together overhead. Take an inhale, lift your chest, look up between your hands. Exhale, hands back to the chair, right foot forward, left foot back. Find that neutral stance. If you're seated, go ahead and take a regular forward fold. You can have your feet narrow or more wide, whichever one you prefer from class so far. If you're standing, keep your hands on the chair and start to walk your feet back little by little. As you do, send your hips back and lower your torso. You can pause anywhere along the way. Your arms don't have to be all the way straight, but you want to end in a generic L shape with your body. Hips go back, knees can be a little bent, chest drops in between your arms. Begin to lift your chest as you walk your feet back towards your hands, or begin to roll up and out of your forward fold. And we'll practice warrior two. I'm going to show the seated version first, as usual. But if you prefer the standing, go ahead and stay standing behind your chair. You know what to do. From your seat, you're going to heel toe your feet out wide, just like we did for the wide leg fold a few times earlier. Then for the right side, we're going to turn your toes out to the right. Take your left foot and press your heel out so your leg moves more towards straight. Nice. Stack your shoulders right over your hips. Lift your chest. Arms go out to a T. Last step. turn your gaze over your right hand. Press your feet down and away from each other. Lift your chest. To switch sides in Warrior Two, you'll simply pivot right toes in, pivot left toes out, and then take your heel back. Make your right leg more straight. Your knee can remain a little bit bent here, but you want it to be more straight than your left leg. Arms out to a T, and turn your gaze over your left hand. Lift your chest, extend out through fingertips. Inhale, exhale, release. So to switch sides, you'll just continue moving like so in the chair, and you can always scooch around a little bit until you find the base of support. That's gonna really work for you. If you're going to standing up, I'm going to practice without the chair for this one, just so that you can better see my body, but know that you can have the chair right underneath your hands here. Walk your feet out wide, maybe hip distance or even wider. And again, you want to choose a comfortable stance that allows you to be challenged, but doesn't have your feet just sliding away from each other. Take arms out to a T or use the chair for support. Pivot your right toes out and bend your right knee in line over your ankle. Take your front knee a little wider, tuck your tailbone forward, and make your back leg super strong. Stack shoulders over hips, lift chest, extend out through fingertips. Full breath in. Exhale. And then straighten your right leg. Pivot right toes in, pivot left toes out. Bend your knee, Warrior Two. Widen your knee, tuck your tail forward, and press through your back foot. Stack shoulders right over hips, lift chest. Extend out through fingertips. Inhale and exhale. Then straighten your left leg, left toes in, right toes out. Last time in Warrior Two, bend your right knee in line over ankle, but a little wider so it's more in line with your pinky toe. Tuck your tailbone forward, nice, and anchor through your back foot. Straighten your right leg, right toes in, left toes out. Last time, Warrior Two, bend your knee, reach it forward. Take it a little wider, tuck your tailbone towards the chair, and press through your back foot. Straighten your left leg, left toes turn forward. If you've had your arms out this whole time, great job. Give those shoulders a little rest. We're gonna take one more wide leg fold. So if you're seated, keep those feet wide, fold forward. If you're standing, keep your feet wide. Make sure there's enough space between you and the chair to fold forward. Little bend in the knees, press your hips back. Begin to fold. You might pause around here, or if it's accessible to you, maybe continue to walk your hands down the chair, working your way to or towards the ground. Press your feet down and away from each other. Thick hips back, long spine. Watch out for your head as you make your way back upright. Carefully rolling yourself all the way up. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Big breath in. Long breath out. Bring your feet back together. This next pose, crescent pose, can be practiced seated or standing. If you're seated, just follow along with the upper body. If you're standing, bring your feet together or as close together as is comfortable for you. Squeeze your legs in, make them super strong. Tuck your tail forward and draw your waistline to spine. Then send your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers overhead. Release your index fingers and thumb. Squeeze arms around ears, grow tall on an inhale. And exhale, crescent over to the right. You want to think tall in your spine rather than crunching over to the side. Keep length through both sides of your waist. Your bottom arm, it's going to want to do this number. So press it right up towards your face. Make your arms as straight as you can. Move top shoulder back. Inhale up through center. And exhale to the left. If you're standing, keep squeezing your legs together. Move your top shoulder back and notice that bottom arm. It's going to want to bend. Squeeze it as close to your face as you can. Inhale up through center. And exhale, release down. Take a moment to reset. Big breath in. Long breath out. Big breath in. Long breath out. Turn to your right so that the chair is underneath your left hand. Nice job. If you're sitting down, you'll recognize these movements from earlier in class. You're welcome to practice them seated once more. From standing, transfer the weight to your left leg. Right hand might come to your hip. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Flex and point your foot a few times, feeling that musculature. And then bend your knee, draw your knee up towards your chest. Now maybe use your right hand to help that knee be held up. Flex your toes up towards your knee and open that knee a little wider. Nice job. Maybe float your arm away. Close off and rest down. Beautifully done. One more time, same side, same side. Right leg extends out. Flex and point your foot. And then hold your knee up towards your chest, maybe using your hand around your leg to get a little height. Flex your foot and open that leg out to the side. You can use your hand or not, and your knee might be lower like this. That's totally fine. Close your leg off and release that foot back down. Turn to the left so that your right hand is on the chair. Balance on your right leg. Send your left leg forward. Nice. Flex and point your foot. Roll your ankle a few times. And then bend your knee. Squeeze it up towards your chest. Use your left hand maybe over or under to help hug in. And then open out to the side. Nice job. Keep standing up tall. Close off. And bring your left foot down. Last time here. Balance on your right leg. Left leg extends. Flex and point your foot. Draw knee up towards your chest. You can use your hand, however it makes sense. Flex your foot. Open your knee to the side. Close your leg back off. Set that foot down. Walk your feet out a few times. Shift side to side. Side to side. Nice. Our last balancing pose for the day will be Warrior 3. Warrior 3, one of my personal favorites. If you are seated, here's what I suggest. Make sure you're far enough forward in your seat that you've got a little space. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Squeeze your hands near or around the back of the chair and really lift your chest. Focus on pressing your feet down and getting a lifting motion through your chest. Squeeze shoulders together. You're standing. Put the weight on your right foot. Fingertips to the chair. Left leg slides back. Right here, tone your inner thighs to the midline. So squeeze in together, nice. Then keep your toes down, start to lower your torso. Yeah, lower your torso to your comfort level. You can take a little bend in your right leg. Then either keep your toes down or float your back foot up behind you, Warrior 3. Use your hands on the chair for support, or if you'd like to play with taking one hand away or both hands away, you can. Keep your lifted leg energized. Either flex or point your foot and reach all the way back through your toes. Send energy all the way out through the crown of your head. Lower your toe first, then bring your torso upright. Step your left foot underneath you once more. Put the weight in your left leg and slide your right toes back. Nice. Tone inner thighs together. Do that first. Then hinge at the hip crease. You can take a little bend in your standing leg if needed. Slide hips back. Lower your torso to your comfort level. Then stay or right toes float up behind you. Warrior 3. Keep toning inner thighs together. You want to spin your right hip down so your knee points down at the ground. Extend back through your lifted leg, forward through the crown of your head. Maybe play with lifting one or both arms. So you can see here, I'm actually using the chair to support my chest. Your chair height might not be perfect for that, but it's definitely something worth exploring. Toe lowers first. Torso comes upright. And then step your right foot underneath you once more. Shift side to side a few times. Come back around to find your seat. Yeah, back around to find your seat. Start with your feet and legs about as close together as they like to go. Nice, about as close together as they like to go. Then take your right leg, draw your knee up to your chest, cross your ankle over your knee, flex your right foot, keep your ankle strong. You can stay right here. You can support your leg with one hand or both hands, or you might start to let that leg just gently fall away from you. Lift your chest. If this all feels okay, no pain in the knee, you might start to hinge slightly forward, aiming for shoulders right in line over your knee and ankle. You don't want to physically use the strength in your hand to press your knee down, but you can use the strength in your leg to press your knee down. Just a little bit will do a lot here. Move back upright, draw knee into your chest, and release down. Then extend your left leg out, draw knee up to your chest. You can stay right here or ankle over knee. From here, feel free to keep your knee nice and high, use one or both hands to support it. Or if this feels okay for your knee, start to let your knee fall away, maybe take your hands away. Keep flexing this foot, keep your ankle strong and engaged, and imagine that you wanted to take this pinky toe and touch it to your opposite leg. Nice. Then lift your chest. Everything feels okay so far and you want a little more? Hinge forward, shoulders in line, over your knees. Think hips back, extend out through the crown of your head. Don't actually use your hand to press your knee down, but use some strength in your leg to gently press your knee away from you. That's going to provide more intensity here, only if you desire that. Come back upright, underneath your chest, and release back down. Switch sides once more. Right knee hugs up, ankle over knee. You can stay. You can take one or both hands away. And then from here, we have two options this time. Option one, hinge forward just like we did last time, or stay in your other variation like we did last time. Option two, take your right hand, hold on to your right foot or ankle, and start to twist open to the left. Nice. Lift your chest. Think really tall through your spine. Beautifully done. Untwist. Bring knee up to chest and release that foot back down. Last time, left knee to chest. Cross ankle over knee, figure four. Stay here or take your hands away, let that knee fall. Stay here or option one, fold forward like we did last time. Option two, twist. Left hand to your heel, your ankle, your foot, somewhere that you can hold on kind of firmly. Right shoulder goes up, back, and down. Open into a little bit of a twist to the right. Notice your right foot, the foot that's still on the ground. Press it down. That's going to give you a little more support from your base all the way up. Untwist. Draw knee to chest, hug in. Then roll your ankle out. Release your foot back down. Well done. We will be moving into more of the cool down section of class now. So if there's some stretches on the floor that are part of your normal practice and you'd like to take them, now is definitely your opportunity. We are going to start out with just a little bit of work for the feet. We'll move into the hands. We'll do a little bit of neck stretching. And then we'll be into our final meditation and shavasana. So start with your feet a little closer to you than they have been for most of our class today. Almost like you were going to stand up out of your chair. And then lift your heels, press your toes down, maybe even spread your toes out a little bit. Nice. Lift your heels even higher, press your toes down even more, feel your legs strong, and release your heels back down. Take a moment of rest. And then same thing again, lift your heels high, press your toes down, lift your chest, strong legs, nicely done. Release back down. Take both feet away from you, not quite so your legs are all the way straight, but maybe halfway there. And then flex your toes up and back towards you. Draw your feet towards you, press your heels down. Nice, feet towards you, heels press down. Great job. And release out. Ooh, take a moment of break. Then one more time, lift your toes up and back towards you. Anchor your heels down. Sit up tall in your chair. Beautifully done. Release out. Walk your feet back in underneath you so you can sit up tall comfortably. Slide in a little closer here in my seat. Hands are interlaced. Flip your palms and press away from you. Nice. Getting a little stretch for the wrist. You can stay right here, or you can start to lift your hands up overhead. Yeah. Make your arms more straight and draw hands back in line over your shoulders. Take one more breath in and shake it out on your way down. Shaking it out all the way down by your sides. Same thing again, palms together. Interlace your fingers. Flip your hands and press away. You might stay right here, just working arms towards straight. If your arms are mostly straight, then begin to lift up overhead. Drop shoulders down and back. Press up through the heels of your hands. Take an inhale. And exhale, shake it out on your way down. One more time, palms together. Hands interlaced, flip and press away. Stay here working arms towards straight, or start to lift up overhead. Lifting your chest, press up through your hands, and release, shaking it out on the way back down. Yeah, nice. Take both hands out in front of you. Make a fist, point your knuckles down. Nice job, and open your hands up, spread those fingers wide, make big stop hands, press heels of your hands forward, draw your fingers back. And then again, crunch together, drop those knuckles down. Open back up and draw fingertips back, press through your hands. Last time, point down, then release out, open back, and release your hands down. For these little neck stretches that we're about to do, make sure that you're really kind and gentle to yourself. Make sure that you're listening to your body and just meeting yourself where you're at. Pain is not gain, so you want to feel no pain. Take your right hand to your cheek, and then start to let your head fall over towards your right shoulder. Now, what's going to create the stretch more than anything is relaxing your left shoulder, just letting the weight of your arm kind of do its thing. And if that's too much, rest your hand on your leg. Nice. If this all feels okay for you, you might take this hand away. And you might just gently set your hand on the opposite side of your head, fingertips near your left ear, and just use the weight of that arm to provide a little bit more. We don't want to pull with strength, just using the weight of your body as it is, the weight of your hand, the weight of your arm, the weight of your shoulder. Support your head coming back up through the center, and then left hand to your cheek, and let your ear fall over towards your left shoulder. And again, the most of the stretch here is going to be created by the weight in your right arm. So just letting that shoulder drop down. If you let your arm hang, it's going to be more intense. Letting your hand rest on your thigh is going to create less intensity. If this all feels okay for you and you'd like a little more, maybe take your right hand away. Your left hand away. Maybe take your hand over by your ear, just providing a little bit more weight from your left arm. Again, not pulling with strength, just letting the weight of your arm kind of do its thing. Support your head coming back up through center, and then drop your chin towards your chest. You might simply take a moment to just gaze down, get a little length through the back of your neck. But again, if this feels okay for you, no pain, and you'd like more, you can interlace your hands behind your head, not your neck. Let your elbows draw together to, again, just provide some natural weight from your body. Remember to keep breathing in and out, going back to your exhale as a way to release tension from your body. Release your hands. You might use your hands to support you in lifting your chin, and then roll your shoulders out a few times. One of our last effortful poses that we'll do today is a little bit of a bridge pose. So I'll give you options. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Bring your feet down to the ground, just underneath your knees, or a little closer to you if you're feeling brave. Option 1, shoulders down and back, hands beside you. You can stay right there. Option 2, you might walk your hands a little closer together behind you, but it's not required. I kind of like to hold the edges of my chair as I think it gives me a better, firm grip. Then lift your chest. You can stay right here, just working on creating that arching of the spine, or you might press your feet down and start to lift your hips slightly. Maybe your seat comes out of the chair, even if just for a moment. Let your seat come back to the chair. Gently bring your hands around in front of you. Sit up nice and tall on an inhale. Exhale. Letting it all go, releasing tension. All right. For our final neck stretch today, make sure you start with your feet hip distance apart. You'll be using your knees for a guide. And then turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Over your left knee. So it'll be out in the 45. Take your right hand behind you, maybe to the back of the chair or the side of the chair, maybe part of the leg or anything that you can reach comfortably. And then tilt your head downward in the direction of that 45. Nice. You can stay right here or left hand behind your head. Adds a little gentle weight in that direction. Release out, come up right. Turn your gaze forward and then over your right knee. Left hand comes beside or behind you on the chair to help that shoulder remain drawing down and back. And then tilt your head gently forward in the direction of that 45. You're welcome to stay here or take your hand behind your head and add just a little bit of gentle weight, creating more stretch. Release your hand, lift your chin, come back to the center, and we'll start to set up here for our final meditation. You might want to find a more comfortable seat in your apartment. It could be a totally different chair than you've been using. You could just slide back in your chair and allow the back of the chair to support you a little bit more. Or if you're comfortable sitting forward in the chair or you want to take a different seated position, feel free. Rest your hands comfortably on your legs or in your lap. Allow your eyes to close. Allow your chin to drop slightly, neutral for your spine. Start to relax your face, your jaw, unfurrow your brow. And start to allow your breath to get a little bit softer. Continue to take a full deep inhale and empty out completely with your exhale. But take a few breath cycles to find a pace that doesn't require a lot of effort for you to maintain. Swallow should be conscious and purposeful. It shouldn't be super effortful. It shouldn't be challenging. You might breathe in and out through your nose, or you might find that you prefer to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Once you've set upon a pacing that works for you, begin to count silently to yourself the length of your inhale and exhale. At first, you'll likely notice that your exhale seems to take a little bit longer. Make small adjustments to your pacing So that your full inhale and complete exhale take the same number of counts. At the end of your next exhale, start to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you're ready, make your way to your resting position. You might choose a supine position, laying down like on your couch or on your floor if it's accessible. You might just get really comfortable where you're at, let your feet go wide, toes fall open. I always suggest resting with your palms turned up. Allow your fingertips to curl in. Let your breath breathe itself and just be here for the next few minutes. Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Take gentle movements to fingers and toes. If you'd like, you can reach your arms up overhead. Take one more big stretch. And then take a few moments to make your way back to your comfortable seat. If you're laying down, take a moment to sit up. Stack shoulders right over hips, sit up tall. Bring palms together at heart center. And we'll close practice today with the sound Om one time. You're welcome to sing along or listen. Release your air. Full breath in. Thumbs to forehead center. With gratitude for this practice, namaste. Thank you so much for joining in and sharing your wonderful practice today. If there's questions or anything you need, you can always reach out to me through Community Life. You can always find me in the restaurant or send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. And Missy and her team, everyone in the Community Life group would love to hear from you as well if you have any feedback. So thank you so much for joining in, and I'll see you on Sunday.